Chapter 2. Feel the love. No. No, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I don't think that's going to be doing anything, Sugar, Applejack said breathlessly. Can you imagine the scandal? Princess Celestia's personal student getting drunk and marrying some pony they weren't even seeing. And what's my family gonna think? Oh, they are so against divorce. What if they don't let us split up? Relax, that's not going to be a problem. How can you say that? Well... Twilight's reassurances were interrupted by her front door opening. Twilight? Applejack? Rarity? Rainbow Dash called out. Come on, sillies! Pinkie Pie chirped. The two ponies froze. They looked at each other with horror. Quick, take off the rings and hide the certificate, Twilight ordered. Applejack immediately complied, or she tried to. She stepped on the band with her unbound forehoof, trying to push it off, but to no avail. Mine's stuck! Twilight lit up her magic to levitate the ring off, to no avail. She increased her efforts, and immediately regretted it. As it turned out, trying to use magic after a long night of drinking caused extreme headaches. She moaned, putting a hoof to the side of her head. I think I heard something upstairs, Fluttershy said meekly. Oh, shoot, Applejack moaned. She quickly ran to Twilight. Come on, we gotta get these rings off! Wait, what are you... Applejack brought her teeth down onto Twilight's ring and began to pull. Applejack! Twilight shouted. Quit it, you're too rough! Be gentle, be... The bedroom door opened. Hey, Twilight, are you in... Pinkie trailed off. The three ponies just gaped. Twilight and Applejack froze. This isn't what it looks like, Applejack said, with Twilight's horns still in her mouth. There were two simultaneous thumps as Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie hit the floor on either side of Fluttershy, bursting out laughing. Fluttershy herself looked more embarrassed than anything. She was just trying to get the ring off, Twilight snapped, turning red. The laughter lasted another 10 seconds before the Cyan Pegasus found the breath to speak. Well, why are you wearing a ring? No reason, both of the accused said far too quickly. What's that piece of paper by Twilight? She asked, pointing. Said unicorn immediately levitated the marriage certificate behind her. Unimportant. Nothing, Applejack offered. Then let me see it. Rainbow Dash grinned sinisterly, slowly flapping herself forward. No, they both said, quickly but firmly. The Pegasus charged forward. Twilight tried summoning a spell and was reminded of her hangover. As she gripped her head, Rainbow Dash snatched the certificate and flew back to the others, narrowly missing Applejack's attempts to tackle her. There was a pause as the three out-of-the-loop ponies read the marriage certificate, while the two victims held their breath. The three looked at them with blank, emotionless faces. Then there was a thud as, once again, Rainbow Dash got acquainted with the floor. This time, Fluttershy looked amused, though she was trying to hide it. Pinkie, however... Nuh-uh! You guys got married this quick? Do you know how many parties we have to have now? The engagement party, the bachelorette party, the reception? Oh, I hope the cakes can rent out Sugar Cube Corner for 9 hours straight. Will y'all knock it off? Applejack demanded. What Rainbow Dash said next proved she was a true friend. I am never, ever going to let you two live this down. Oh, and the invitations! Oh, we'll have the princesses come down and... Now beet red, Twilight spoke. No! Don't get used to this. We are going down to City Hall and... Oh, look at this! Pinkie exclaimed. At some point, she had caught her breath and looked around the room. She was now balancing a black videotape on her nose. It says, Your Wedding. Whoever married us must have videotaped it. Videotape? Applejack asked. They all looked at the cow pony. Yeah, you know, recorded it so that we can watch it on television? Twilight asked slowly. Television? You know, you have one in the living room of your house? The unicorn exclaimed. Sweet Celestia, I do. But still, it's almost like that kind of fancy doodads never existed before now. How much did you drink last night? Rainbow Dash asked. Considering the situation, obviously too much. Well, come on, let's watch it, Pinky said, skipping down to Twilight's living room to use her VCR. Now hold on, Applejack began, but Twilight stopped her. We need to see what kind of irresponsible priest would marry two ponies who were drunk. I can report whoever it is to Princess Celestia, if I can get past the embarrassment of all this, she moaned, following the others. A short while later, the group was in Twilight's living room, with Pinky having already popped the tape in and hit play. On screen, they were in a flashy steeple with tacky-colored walls. A pink unicorn mare in black robes spoke to Twilight and Applejack, who were both staggering a bit. Looking at the happy couple, the priest spoke. We have gathered here today at the Lost Pegasus 2-minute wedding chapel to... Wait! Twilight panicked, speaking over the video. Did we teleport to Lost Pegasus? The other ponies looked at her with genuine concern. The panic in her voice sounded immense. Would that be bad? Rainbow Dash asked. The first thing Princess Celestia did when teaching me about teleportation was to pin me against a wall and tell me to never, ever teleport while drunk. Do you know how much can go wrong? We could have ended up with parts of ourselves being left behind. The others gasped. Fluttershy paused the tape. Should we take you to the hospital? Twilight sighed. No. If we had heard ourselves doing it, there'd be no question. I'm just freaked out we did it. Twice, apparently. There was a moment of silence. So, you're okay? Pinky asked. Twilight nodded. Good! And she hit play again. Do you, Twilight, take Applejack to be your lawful wedded wife? I do, the unicorn answered, the words slurred. And do you, Applejack, take Twilight to be your lawful wedded wife? What? Do you wish to join Twilight Sparkle in marital bliss? What? She's asking if you want to wake up next to this every morning, Twilight said, wiggling her flank a little. Nothing could be heard over Rainbow Dash and Pinky's laughing, which is why it was fortuitous that Applejack on the videotape only leered at said flank for a few minutes. Yeah, Applejack finally said. Excellent. I now present the rings. With a glow of her horn, the priest levitated the rings above herself. Twilight stuck out her neck, Applejack a hoof, and the appropriately sized jewelry secured itself. The metal seemed to shimmer a bit as it settled. And now, by the power invested in me by the kingdom of Equestria, I now pronounce you mare and mare. You may now kiss each other. And then they did. Passionately. That's it, the priest said with a lecherous smile. That's it. Let the tongues dance. By this point, Rainbow Dash and Pinky were on the ground, laughing like hyenas. Only the fact that she was the element of kindness was stopping Fluttershy from joining in, and even then she was barely keeping her own laughter in. Twilight and Applejack just looked at each other, then looked away in complete embarrassment. Finally, the two newly married mares broke away. Let's head back to my place, Twilight said seductively, walking ahead of the cow pony. Oh, yeah, Applejack said, giving Twilight's flank a playful smack. I'll show you just how well this cow pony can ride. Twilight decided at that moment to work through any pain and cast an invisibility spell on herself. Applejack, who would have given anything to be able to do the same, just hid under her hat as best as she could. No sound came out of Rainbow Dash or Pinky this time. After all, air had to be present in the lungs for that to happen. Fluttershy, meanwhile, finally gave up and was on the ground as well, giggling. The videotape jumped to a new scene of them on a chariot flying through the air. The two ponies were too busy having a kissing contest to see the sights. The scene jumped to the two of them being carried in by the Pegasi who had been pulling their chariots. Carefully, they were tucked into Twilight's bed, unconscious. Leave the tape on the table there, one of the Pegasi said. Then the screen went black. Twilight breathed a sigh of relief. Well, at least we didn't... She trailed off. This, of course, was another invitation for Rainbow Dash and Pinkie to burst out laughing. "Alright, that's enough!" Applejack yelled, but this did not stop the laughter. "Y'all best knock it off!" But we're just enjoying our two best friends joining each other in... Rainbow Dash burst out laughing again. Yeah, well, like I said, don't get used to it. This marriage is illegal. That actually caused the other ponies to look at Twilight confused. "What you talking about, Twi? Gay marriage has been legal in Equestria for 300 years. Lyra and Bonbon have..." "Not that," Twilight explained. "To be married, we had to sign a marriage certificate. Legally, that's a contract, and a contract is invalid if it's signed drunk. All we have to do is go down to City Hall and get this annulled." "But my family don't believe in divorce," Applejack said sadly. "It's not divorce. That's ending a marriage. Technically, this marriage never even started. It'll be like it never happened." "Except, the fact that I'm always going to rib you about it," Rainbow Dash said playfully, caring little for the glare she got. "Listen, you," Applejack said angrily. "You best keep this between us, you hear?" "Whoa, whoa, whoa," Rainbow Dash said defensively, putting her hooves up. "Of course I will. Relax." "Pinkie promise," the pink earth pony said, performing her trademark pledge. "Of course. Can I tell Rarity?" Fluttershy asked. Applejack sighed. "I guess," she muttered. Then she paused. "Where the hey is Rarity, anyway?" Pinkie and the two Pegasi suddenly looked awkward. We were hoping you knew. We haven't seen her since last night." "Oh my gosh," Twilight gasped. "I remember me and Big Mac talking to her last night," Pinkie said. "But that's it." Suddenly, Applejack tensed up. "What does my brother think about me being gone?" "Oh, he was still asleep when we left," the pink earth pony chirped. "Big Mac," Granny Smith called, opening his bedroom door. "Are you gonna stay in bed all..." The eldest Apple stopped. Her grandson was currently tied to his bed, a hoof at each bedpost. But that was nothing compared to the fact that he was painted bright pink, with red hearts and yellow smiling faces all over him, topped off with what looked like a roll of socks stuffed into his mouth. Granny stood there with a neutral expression. Then she slowly backed away. "We'll keep this under wraps, here?" "Pinkie promise," the earth pony agreed. Twilight sighed. "Well, I doubt Rarity's gotten herself in any serious trouble. She said she wasn't getting drunk. She probably just went back to her boutique sometime." "Good, now let's get down to the mayor's office and get this thing over with." "Not until we get these rings off," Twilight said, summoning her magic again. It encased her wife's band, and she began tugging fiercely, her headaches now less intense. "Hey! Ow! Easy, Twi!" Applejack moaned, pulling away and trying to help the process. "It ain't coming off." "Oh, move," Rainbow Dash said, pushing Twilight aside. She roughly wrapped a foreleg around the cow pony's band and pulled with all her strength. "Ow! Dash, quit it! That hurts!" "Oh, quit whining, I can get this off," the brash Pegasus declared, pulling harder. "Actually, I don't think you can," Twilight interrupted, causing them to stop. "Let me see that." She leaned into the band and lit up her horn. As she did, the gold shimmered, and strange symbols appeared all over the surface. "Oh no." The unicorn cringed as the symbols disappeared. "These rings are enchanted! Whoever put them on us made sure they couldn't be taken off." "What?" Applejack yelled. "Oh my," Fluttershy said. "No way!" Pinkie exclaimed. Rainbow Dash laughed, back on the ground. "This ain't funny," Applejack yelled, then turned back to Twilight. "Can you get him off?" Yes, Twilight confirmed. But it will take time. We're just going to have to wear them until I can get them off. Rainbow Dash laughed. Ignoring her friend, Applejack sighed. We'll just say the rings are a fashion choice. The cyan Pegasus finally finished laughing, rising to her hooves. And here I thought our announcement was going to be the big highlight of the day. Twilight, Applejack, and Pinkie all looked at her. Fluttershy suddenly blushed, hiding behind her hair. What the hey are you talking about, announcement? Fluttershy said, her face scarlet. Well... Rainbow Dash smiled proudly, draping a foreleg around the Pegasus. Me and Shy talked last night, and, well... The rainbow-maned pony turned and kissed Fluttershy right on the lips. Her yellow coat turned red as she kissed back. The three other ponies' jaws dropped at the scene. As the two pulled away, they looked back at their stunned friends. We don't exactly remember what happened last night, but we woke up in my bed, and... We talked it over, and we figured if we're attracted to each other drunk, we might as well try a real relationship, Rainbow Dash finished. She leaned over and nudged Applejack. You two could learn a thing from us. Aw, that's so sweet! Pinkie exclaimed. Oh, now I have another party to throw together. I hope you can wait until after the reception. There's not going to be a reception, Twilight yelled. Then she blushed. Well, at any rate, congratulations, Twilight said, and she meant it, though in her current mood it sounded sarcastic. Yeah, we're happy for you, really, Applejack added sincerely. But, are you sure you should be starting things like this? A lot can go wrong from starting a relationship based on some drunk kisses. Hey, relax, we know that, and we're taking it slow, Rainbow Dash said. Fluttershy nodded. Oh, we should do something to celebrate, Pinkie cheered. Later, Pinkie, Twilight said sternly. We should wait until Rarity's around. Besides, I want to go and get this marriage annulled now. Yeah, you two enjoy that, Rainbow Dash said casually, scooping Fluttershy up in her forelegs bridal style. The yellow Pegasus gave a small meep, but by the look on her face, she certainly didn't object. Me and my little butterfly here are going to take some alone time. Don't you think we should find Rarity first? The timid Pegasus objected. That won't be necessary, sugar, Applejack said. It's like Twilight said. Rarity said she wasn't drinking too much. I doubt she got herself into any trouble. I'll go by Carousel Boutique just in case, Pinkie offered. I bet she's been up for hours. Rarity snuggled down into her covers. There were times she forgot just how comfortable her bed was. It felt fit for royalty. Her eyes opened slightly, and she saw the purple silk sheets. Then she stopped. Her sheets weren't purple. She turned to her side. Morning, beautiful, Blueblood cooed. To be continued.